Hey. Hey Larry, I totally forgot to send the link to Melanie so she could put it up in the room. I had every intention of doing that, but got ahead of myself. Thank you, Larry. Hank, you guys. Doc says I'll play with it. Everybody else is more interested in the drawer that the lamp is clipped on right now. Now the drawer is open and cats are going in it. Not the best view, it's kind of blinding over there. Clara.
What are you guys doing?
Same thing they always do.
Clara? You still hate them?
She hasn't attacked anybody, but she hissed at him.
Get out of there.
And he's not going to stay out of there. He's going to keep going back in there over and over. That's why you poke your head out, Percy. Doc. So, I don't know if we'll see Connie for a couple days. Her power is back off again. Or was yesterday. I haven't spoken with her today. But I told her I hope she's more patient than me, because I would be furious if after the storm my power was on, or back on, and then back out again.
Don't do that, Lionel.
Maybe I should move over there where the light is not so blinding to look this way.
You're always running away from me. I'm away from you.
Sometimes, not all the time. Maybe it will be a little easier to see than staring at a blinding light.
Rude, Percy. She hissed at her when I first put her in the hammock, but I don't know how she's doing now.
Who hissed it? Who?
Stella hissed it.
Hello, Hank. You gonna come sit on the lap? Come here. Come on, switch. There we go. Back into that blinding light looking that way, huh?
Under the couch, and I don't see her right now. Stella's still. Hopefully, Stella doesn't want anything to do with her. She won't be mean to her, and she won't be
I don't think so. I think she just gets a little upset about being put in there, and I mean, she hisses at them in here sometimes too. She's getting older and grumpy.
How dare you stop me doing what I want to do?
Hank.
Leave it alone. Hey, Lionel.
Extreme close up, Hank.
Big old chub Lionel. I guess they're all fat since I said she had too much fat on her belly.
He called it baby fat and said some kittens have more than others.
I think all of these guys, except maybe Wilson, have more of it than the other litter. Wilson's sort of lean.
Lionel.
You run away from me. Why? Stop so mad at me. What did I ever do to you? What did I ever do to you?
Hey, Wilson.
I like it when I pet you. You just don't want me to pick you up. That it.
Well, he tolerates it, but he's not a big picker-upper. Who's hissing now? Clara?
Or Doc at Lionel, I don't know.
Lionel's popping Doc in the head.
How you like it?
Yeah, dose of his own medicine.
What you looking at, Hank?
Lionel.
He's a lazy bum.
He's no lazier than anybody else.
Always falling out.
Percy? You can come visit now. Come on. Lionel is getting so big. You're going to be a monster. I don't know if you can tell just looking at the video how big he is, but quite a bit bigger than the others. And still growing, huh? And it's still growing.
Need some red dot action before we leave.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Everybody loves the red dot.
What does this mean? What does that mean?
Help me remember to move that back into frame before we leave. I forgot to move it back yesterday, or either that or Sarah moved it. I don't remember which.
Oh god. I was trying to let Lionel have this sec.
Claire's over there like, I'm not getting in the middle of that. You know, they're gonna get in trouble jumping all over her.
Sorry.
Sorry, my hand's not very steady the way I'm having to hold this.
stripes are almost spotty.
Yeah, that's what I said before. They're very prominent.
It's got like leopard spots. Whereas the rest of them are a lot more. I don't know, maybe Percy's a little bit spotty too. Yeah.
You guys.
Doc is spotty also, but a different pattern of spots. Like his are smaller and closer together.
Claire's looking for the red dot now.
They always take it from me.
You just put it on Doc's head.
I'm trying to put it between them, but they move it back and forth, but the ankle means I go across their bodies. Percy's head. Oh. Mine was just more methodical about it. Hawk. He's almost as big as Doc.
Yeah, it's probably bigger than Doc.
They look pretty similar.
You guys stop.
Says I want it. I'm not giving up.
Despite their little temper flare-ups, they're definitely doing better than they had been previously.
And Claire's doing good too. Doesn't seem bothered by anyone.
She's
Look at
hissed
Hank.
once. What about her?
Stop doing it. How he lays like with his legs sort of spread out,
Mm-hmm.
slapping
Sploot.
his belly to the floor.
And then called sploot.
Maybe.
Splooting.
Oh, no, he doesn't kick his legs out behind him like if he was dragging his belly on the floor, but he does spread his butt a little wide. He like to be able to run after it. So jealous, Doc. I called you lazy, didn't I, Hank? You said, I am not lazy. Full of energy.
We've got 15 minutes in here. I guess we'll go see how Zelda is doing. And hopefully I can move this far enough inwards where it can be seen. Zelda and Stella. It's been a while since I've been in this other room. Yeah, I was gonna say, so if the Wi-Fi cuts out, just hang with it momentarily and it should come back up. Zelda. Zelda and I took a little nap after I came home, or not came home, but brought her home from the vet. Are you miserable in here, Stella? You don't look so miserable. You may be, but she's starting to get little scabby spots on her. I hope that medicine kills all those fleas and takes care of that. Zelda is somewhere. Let's turn the light on. Down here, as you can see, the other kittens have kind of destroyed the bottom of the couch. But that's okay. There she is.
Zelda.
I have a sneaky suspicion that this couch is gonna go to the curb anyway. Even though I do try to nap on it occasionally. I don't want to keep blinding you. Come on out, Zelda. No, I don't think she's bothered anymore. Are you, Stella? It's like you're taking it in stride. She's probably relieved that she doesn't have 4 other kittens terrorizing her all day, all night.
We got you out, huh?
So Zelda, her procedure
Sweet girl.
is a little different than what the other female kittens we've had have gone through. The others had gotten sutures where nothing had to be removed. The vet said she had a lot of baby fat. I don't know if it's baby fat or food fat because she eats too much, but I don't think she's too fat. But anyway, she had a little extra fat around her belly, and when he tried to stitch her up, it was trying to poke out from the sutures, so he had to put some staples in there to help hold it closed. So she has to go back in 10 days to get those out. I thought we were done for a little while. Well, at least for a year.
Well, with these, all of our regular cats are behind on their
Yeah. Well, I meant as far as kitten shots and vaccinations and spays and neuters and all of that. But no, she'll have to go back in 10 days to get some staples pulled. And he said to keep an eye on her and make sure she's not licking and gnawing at it. And she may have to get a collar of shame if she does. Cone of shame, whatever you want to call it. I don't think we have one anymore, do we? I want to say we gave the one we had away. Yeah.
It'll be too big for her though, because I couldn't get it to stay on Mabel. And the, don't mess with it. And the leotard thing, that sweater, whatever you want to call it, that she had would definitely be way too big, and that was the next to the smallest size.
I figured she would have eaten more food, but
She's picked up that a couple of times while I've been in here.
I think maybe what I'll do is, since she's been under the couch, move the food like over here somewhere where it's close to her hiding spot. But when I was in here, laying on the couch, she laid in my lap and didn't move a muscle for a while. I don't know if you can hear Stella snoring or not. Yeah, I don't think she's bothered too much by being in here. She hasn't been in here that long, and she's already snoring. What you doing, Zelda? Why don't you come out here in the light so we can see you? Hard to see you under there.
I don't want you to play too rough. Did you just chirp at it?
And everyone was very complimentary of how sweet Zelda is.
She's definitely a sweetie. Most of them don't mind being held, but I think she likes it the most.
I don't know, Percy's...
Every time I try and hold him, he's like, no, I got business to get to. He wants to
gotta
run away, but she normally...
sit on the floor and let him hop up in your lap and then pick him up and flip him on his back and he'll just stay there.
Well, I meant holding, like, up here.
Yeah.
She likes that.
So we'll let her stay in here for at least till Sunday. Maybe through Sunday night. I'm not sure yet. Just depends on how she handles everything.
I don't know. I might need to do it though. Even longer. Thursday.
But it's no problem either way because none of the other cats have to be in here, and she's obviously content about being in here. And we might can bring one or two of them in here to see her while she's separated. But Lorraine bounced back a little too quick when we got her fixed and back in here, and I think that's what caused her swelling on her belly where her incision was. Well, there was my connection going off for a second.
But yeah, Maggie got adopted shortly after she got...
The further that way she goes, darker it gets. Hey, Catherine. So we have staples.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, you don't need to get too crazy. Staples that have to come out in 10 days.
Don't hurt yourself.
And
Oh, you're just a kid.
antibiotics for the next 10 days.
And pills again after we got so good at it with the first litter,
Well,
doing the liquid.
Yeah, we got some experience with the syringe and the liquid, but I prefer the pills in the pill pockets. That's plenty easy for me.
You don't need to run and jump.
It's crazy just how much more dim it is from right here to right there. And you can see. Yeah, she is loud. It's probably the best sleep she's gotten in a while without everybody pestering her.
Maybe the flea medicine's starting to work and she doesn't have to scratch her little sores all the time. Oh, no.
Me too, Catherine. That's pretty much what I sound like when I sleep.
Yeah, you and Vinny.
Yeah, our dog. We have a cat that snores some too.
Russell.
Yeah,
All your animals sound like you.
that's why they like me.
Sometimes I can't tell for sure if he's fallen asleep and started snoring or if it's the dog.
So at least this room, the stream for this room will be a little more interesting for a couple of days. I know it's been pretty dull lately since Doc is free to come and go. He doesn't really come in here a whole lot anymore. When we first started letting him run loose during the day, he would still come in here and sleep some, but I don't think he comes in here to sleep anymore. He's found a chair in the main room that he likes to curl up in. But now there's something to look at in here. Yeah, Lily likes it in here. I think she got really upset when she couldn't get in here for a while.
Yeah, before we had extra kittens and we're using this room, the light would be off while we were leaving. And if we didn't see Lily, we'd check in here. And she'd normally be sleeping on the couch or under the couch in the chair that used to be in here.
Yeah. Lily definitely liked the couch. There are 4. She has 4 male siblings in the other room. This is her mom. We have 1 other kitten from a previous litter that has not been adopted yet, along with her mom. And then we have our 2... His mom, yeah. And 2 other permanent residents that live here. But she and her brothers and the other kitten, and both this one and the other kitten's mom are up for adoption. We have not really pursued adopting Stella. We want to keep socializing her. She's a little shy still.
She's older and she was an outside cat until we trapped her to have this litter. Well,
yeah, her. Stella, I don't think Stella had ever really been indoors before I caught her. She might have once or twice, but not for any extended period. This is the longest time she's ever spent indoors.
She's doing much better than when we brought her in, though.
Yeah, if we would have brought her in and put her in this room initially, you would not have seen her ever. She would have stayed under the couch down there, and you would never seen her come out. But now, this isn't her main room that she's used to. And even still, she's out, just laying out in the open. Yeah, she's come a long way since we first brought her here. When did we bring her here?
It was the week of the 4th of July.
Yeah, I trapped her in late April. And she spent a few weeks at the vet because we had a very young litter here, and it was before we decided we would bring them all here, but our vet boarded them for a while. So she spent about 4 weeks at the vet's office in boarding.
That was 6 weeks.
Or 6 weeks, yeah. And then we brought her here, and she's been here ever since. Zelda.
And they will be 16 weeks on Monday.
Yeah, almost 4 months old. So we were kind of late to the game getting her spayed. Her brothers had already been done. But we just had scheduling conflicts and things come up where nothing was convenient. And she was supposed to get spayed Monday, but we were dealing with the storms. And they rescheduled it for Wednesday, and then we took her Wednesday, and they called and said, well, we're going to have to reschedule it for Friday. Can you come get her? So
they offered to board her, but we didn't want to torture her.
So it's done now.
We just wanted to be able to separate her out and not have to worry about.
Yeah, she's fortunate that the previous females that we've had fixed and have since adopted out had to stay in a little tiny bathroom by themselves for a couple of days.
But she gets this room. Don't go back under there.
Well, they are a commitment. And they can get expensive.
When Doc turned 20 weeks old today.
Yeah, Doc is 5 months old. That is insane.
Well,
4 weeks in a month.
I would like the extra days because I was born April 28th.
Roughly 5 months old. He's 4 and something. 4 and a half, 4 and 3/4.
4.5-ish.
But George's mom has emailed a couple of times over the last couple of days, worried about Doc. Doc is fine. I do want him to get adopted, but he's doing fine. He's happy. He's definitely happy not to be shut up in this room at night anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, Connie. Are you on generator still?
That's a pretty girl.
Good deal. Well, I'm glad. That would have really sucked to lose power for a few days and then get it back, only to lose it a couple of days later. So I don't know how much you saw or didn't see, but Zelda, she has a fat belly. So they had to, in addition to the regular sutures, put a couple of staples in. Well, hopefully it's back for good this time. And if you can't hear, which I'm sure you can, Larry could hear it. Stella's not stressing.
So loud, Stella.
Don't wake her up. Just let her snore.
Are you alive? You're in a coma?
No, she's just sleeping.
Yeah, she'll get those staples out in 10 days.
Yeah, so as soon as she's done with antibiotics, we'll
Leave it alone.
take her back. No. And he told us to watch her and make sure she doesn't keep doing that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go get a cone of shame and put it on her.
I don't know how. She's so little. Yeah, maybe they can wrap her or something.
Maybe. But she was very sweet to everybody. I don't know. We've only ever had a cone one time, and that was with our cat Mabel at home. She had a hernia on her side that they fixed, and they gave her a cone, and she absolutely despised it. But
We had her in a spare room before we ended up taking the bed out of the spare room. And so she was up on the bed with the cone, hating the cone, shaking her head, and backed off the side of the bed to the floor. And we're like, well, this is not going to work if she's going to fall off the bed every time we try and
she
put it
eventually
on
got
her.
it off of her head anyway.
Yeah. the smallest one they had, the regular plastic kind, and she's definitely bigger than Zelda is.
And as much as I hate to say it, I'll probably have to go to PetSmart to get one more bag of that kitten food until we can start transitioning to something else, and I'll just have to look for one there. I'm not going to go back into my tirade about PetSmart again today, but I'm not sure, Connie. I don't think I've ever seen a vest for a kitten. Yes, she does barefoot. Very much. We're just kind of letting her do her own thing, not shake her all around since she just had surgery today.
What you doing? Oh, she says, where'd the dot go? I'm not gonna let you chase it like the boys do.
And we had another person inquire about Zelda, and so far another person has not replied to my reply to them.
They were interested in possibly another kitten too, though, so maybe they decided the other kitten.
No, I'm talking about a different person altogether, the one I told you about yesterday.
Oh, I know, but I thought you were saying the one from yesterday has not responded. Right?
But she was only interested in Zelda. It was the other one that was interested in her or another one.
Well, that's the one I was talking about, though.
Yeah. So that's 2 for Wilson and 2 for Zelda.
They have not panned out.
Yeah. But the first one for Wilson, or the second one for Wilson at least, she did reply to the email, and we were far enough along to the point where we had set something up to let her come and meet all of them. And she got in touch with the landlord, and the landlord said no pets. So put the kibosh
No
on
pets
that one.
From now on, like before they could have pets, and then apparently they were like, actually, no, not anymore.
We are in Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah, we're going to figure this out, though, Connie. I mean, if it takes a year, it takes a year. I'm hoping not, but I'm not going to just dump them somewhere or hand them off to anybody.
And they're happy and they're safe. They're way better off than they would have been out on the street, and then they don't have families and get as much attention as pets do yet. I feel like they get as much attention and interaction as they would if they were at a shelter or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we just stick them in a room and ignore them all the time or something.
I try to go in at least once during the day for a few minutes and see everybody. I don't always get to, but I try to.
You see them every time you feed them.
Well, I'm talking about in addition to when I come in the mornings and feed everybody. I try to go in at my lunch break and at least speak to them for a minute. Yeah, and I was worried about these guys when we first brought them here, that leaving them alone in that room wouldn't do any good as far as the socialization, but they seem to be as social as any of our other cats. Zelda or Stella, you're just
Sawing logs. Found the dot maker.
yeah. When we leave in a little bit, you're gonna hear The scream of all screams.
What?
She screams now when you leave.
Why?
I don't know. She did that last night. My coworker came up here. There was a mishap or a miscommunication or something. I asked if she would come in and put Zelda and Stella in this room together last night without any food or water. I mean, Stella could have food or water, but just...
She's fat enough that it's
Yeah,
not gonna hurt
she could
her.
skip a meal and it would give Zelda some company, but... Last night I pulled the camera up and I looked at the chat and I saw Larry ask Clara, "What are you doing in there?" And I looked and there was Clara and here was Zelda. I'm like, what is going on? So I sent her a text message and I said, "I think you mistook Clara for Stella." She said, "Oh crap, I did." I think she got a little frustrated when she came up here though because Clara hid under the couch and did not want to come out for her. Matter of fact, I think there's a bed behind the couch that she tossed back there while she was in front of the couch trying to lure her out.
Yeah. Don't fall.
So we need to get that out and put that out here.
Where were we going with that story? Oh, the scream of all screams. You
Yeah, as soon as Sarah left, she started crying and crying and crying. She did the same thing before I brought her food in here. I just brought her in here and I let her out of the carrier and walked back out there and closed the door and she started crying really loud.
She cried earlier once I got here. And he left her in the room and I hadn't brought Stella in.
Well, we've run super long tonight. I guess we need to go out there and say hello to Lily and Stumpy for just a minute and then we'll wrap it up for today. I won't have any help this weekend until Sunday evening at the earliest, so we'll be making all the trips for this weekend until then.
Don't do that.
So I guess we can leave it up to a vote if you guys prefer early close-up or later close-up. I'm a football fanatic and I know I have a game I have to watch at 6 o'clock tomorrow, so the late visit will probably be 5-ish or so, like a typical work day. So whichever you guys prefer is what we will do in terms of close-ups. It makes no difference either way, Connie. We will be here both times anyway, so I don't know what everybody else has going on the weekend. There's a Stumpy in the cave, or the tunnel, and a Clara. I don't know why it always looks pink out here sometimes. And there goes a Lily. Watch out.
Not ladies. I had Doc out and then he wanted to run back in, so he went the other way. Get him or do you want me to wait?
Huh?
Do you want me to get him or wait?
If he wants to come out, he can come out. If he's not upset, he can stay in there. Stumpy's just over there observing. You can even see her. She's kind of behind that post over there. Yeah, her name is Stumpy for obvious reasons.
I tried to get them to name her something else, but that was the name she started with, so that's the name she stuck with. Just like Tabby is still Tabby, even though that's the most generic name ever.
So Barefoot, since you're new, that's Stumpy. She had a litter of kittens that we fostered last year, and we've adopted all of them out. 2 came back and now live at our house, but Stumpy lives here still. She's here for good as far as I know. That is Lily. That's Stumpy's sister. Both Lily and Stumpy were Stella's kittens a while back, a couple years ago, I guess. Clara is also one of Stella's kittens that we rescued, and she had a litter up here that we fostered, and Doc is the last kitten from that litter. All the others have been adopted.
You can see she's a very little bitty cat. She was really young when she got pregnant with that litter, because Doc is almost as big as she is. So he's going on 5 months, and she's, what did that make her? Probably about a year now.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, she was probably Doc's age when she wound up pregnant. She was not very old at all. Claire, you're standing right in the way.
And like we said, Stella had been an outside stray cat that he was just feeding. And
Yeah, I don't even know how many litters Stella had, but it was a bunch.
she wouldn't bring them around. We wouldn't know for sure when she had them. We didn't want to trap her until we knew for sure she didn't have kittens, and then by that point she'd be pregnant again. This last time we just decided to go ahead and catch her while she was pregnant and take her to the vet.
Stella didn't have the greatest start to life. I know that. She was a kitten and being fed by some people in an apartment building very nearby here. And they moved and just left her. And she had a brother that was also left. He wasn't quite as friendly as Stella was outside. He was somewhat feral. I mean, I fed him every day, and I could pet him and all that, but he wasn't a house cat. But a pack of dogs came through here one afternoon and caught him and killed him. And after Clara and her brother came around, I couldn't fathom leaving them out there, as little as they were, and they had started to warm up to us when we fed them, and so I just trapped them both. Well, actually, I just trapped Clara. Her brother I just picked up one day.
He stayed out there longer than she did, though, since he wasn't as much of an emergency to get him inside. Since she was pregnant, we didn't want her to have her kittens out there somewhere and something happened to them. So he lives at our house now.
Yeah, her brother hit the jackpot and lives at our house.
He looks like a big version of Doc.
Yeah, I mean, if you see Doc, that's what Clara's brother looks like. A bigger version of that.
We don't think he's Doc's dad, based on how young they both were. And there's other booted tabbies around outside that are probably the dads of Tabby and Doc, and Stella's food kittens. Last year's litter, Stumpy's litter, was all male, 4 black cats, and 1 gray tabby. So we got more interesting colors this year.
There is definitely a striking resemblance. Well, Barefoot, we're suckers for cats, apparently.
They just show up. We can't say no.
Yeah, we have 8 cats at home. That was not planned either.
We donate stuff to the shelter and look at animals, the shelter posts, but every single one of the animals that we have has come from ones that just showed up at our office or our house.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever. Did we pay anything for Vinny?
I don't know.
Vinny, our black lab, was a rescued dog that was being fostered when we adopted him. He was not even at the shelter. The girl that had him worked for a shelter at the time, but she had him at his house, or at her house.
I think she worked for the vet's office.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. So yeah, he was a foster dog. Our other dog was a stray that was caught by one of my coworkers behind the building back here. And all of our cats have been rescued strays.
I got 1 in college, 1 showed up at our house that we live in now as a kitten. Next 2 were at my office, stray little itty bitty kittens outside my office. Then 5th one, Mabel, showed up at our house.
And then Stumpy's 2 kittens.
The adoption failures that we took back.
Yeah, we had those 2 adopted, but there were some allergy problems that somebody couldn't handle. So we brought them back, not with the intention of keeping them, but if they make it inside our house, they're trapped forever. It's just a vacuum.
Just cat magnets.
That's why none of these guys are ever going to our house. Well, Lily, when we first got Lily, or when Lily first started living here, I took Lily home on the weekends. It's before we had extra cats, but don't have the room for that anymore. And now that she's got a friend, yeah, now that Stumpy is here to keep her company, and Doc and Clara for that matter too, I don't worry about taking her home anymore. But I felt so bad leaving Lily up here by herself on the weekends with no other cats and no people. So for the first several months that we had her, she went home with me every Friday. We put her in, she knew the routine. She got in the carrier and didn't cry, didn't get upset. I do not own the building, but I've worked for this company for 16 years now, I believe. And the owner of the company does like cats, and he's aware of what's going on. So, but even if the company closed the doors tomorrow, I guess we just have at minimum 10 cats at my house, because Lily and Stumpy they'll stick with me somehow, some way. I suppose we should definitely wrap it up now. I think before we lost connection for a minute, we were already at 20-something minutes, and now I'm almost at 33, so we've gone almost an hour today. So we'll call a vote. whether you guys prefer morning or,
By morning we mean like 11 o'clock maybe.
well, 10-ish or whatever. So if you guys prefer a morning or an evening close up, you can cast your vote now. And
So like 10 a.m. or like 5 p.m.
Connie says morning, Larry says morning. Okay, we'll shoot for somewhere between 10 or 11 tomorrow. Everybody will have enough food. Thank you, Barefoot. Come back. We do these every day. Typically Monday through Friday. There's one day in there that'll be a little later, but typically they're around 5:30 or so. We were a little late today. But tomorrow between 10 and 11 in the morning, we will do another one. And beyond that, I think that's everything. We're going to put a little more food down for everybody and call it a night. So thank you, Larry. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Barefoot. Thank you, Catherine. And I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. And please don't get mad because I don't want to scroll back through all that. But thank you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.